Hey guys, it's Sekaar, and today we're going to be going over my stamina ward build for the Lost Depths chapter. Before we get started, if you guys could subscribe to the channel, we are just shy of 200 subs away from that 3K mark, and I would love to get to there by the end of the year. So guys, please help me out if you can. It's free, and I would really appreciate it. Also, I wanted to thank some people from chat from my Twitch channel with helping me with this build. They gave me a lot of the ideas for it. They're basically the ones that came up with most of it, and they helped me out a lot, told me what to run and stuff. So you can thank them for putting this build together. I just listened to them really. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy, and yeah, let's get on with the video. All right, guys, let's get started. First things first, we're going to look at our character sheet. We're going to be an Imperial on our Warden because I really like Imperial. It's my favorite stamina race to use. You get that max health, max stam bonus, and then also that reduced cost passive on all of your abilities. I think that it's amazing for your sustain, so I really like Warden personally. We're going to have 64 points into stamina in order to get our stam pool as high as possible. We're at a nice 25k. And then our Mundus is going to be the Thief to increase our weapon and critical chance by 1776. And then on top of that, we're also going to be Vampire Stage 3. The reason why we're Vampire Stage 3 is to get our tankiness as much as possible. That Undeath passive really helps. The lower health you have, the less damage you take, so that is absolutely huge. And then, as always, our Zorgus Smoked Bear Haunch is going to be our food. It's going to increase our max health and then also our stamina and magic recovery by a lot. If you can't afford this, just use the Jewels of Misrule food instead. It works just as fine. You just get a little less health for that. Maybe just take a few points out of stamina and put into health in order to counteract that. I really like it, though. Both are completely fine. Our gear, our monster set is going to be Mighty Chudan. Our helmet is going to be medium. Our shoulders are going to be medium as well. Both are going to be well fitted in order to be able to sprint and roll dodge as much as possible. And then before I even go and talk about everything else, you can see that we're using all prismatic enchants. And the reason why we're using Mighty Chudan is because the one piece gives us armor and the two piece gives us max health. And also you get major resolve at all times, increasing your physical and spell resistance by 6k. So we're not going to be using any skill to increase that. That is just going to be using that out of our monster set, which is really helpful because you need a lot of skills on Warden, and this really frees up a slot. So, like I said, medium helmet, medium shoulders, both well fitted. Our chest piece is going to be a heavy trainee and reinforced to increase our health as much as possible and increase our resistances. Our our belt is going to be griffins in divines. I'm really liking using divines on a lot of the rest of our pieces. I think it's going to really help your damage because we're going to have that thief mundus, so it's going to increase your critical chance even more, and it's going to really make you hit even harder. So what griffins does is the 2 and 3 piece gives you crit chance, the 4 piece gives you weapon and spell damage, then the 5 piece after dealing direct damage you gain minor force and minor expedition for 10 seconds, increasing your critical damage done and your movement speed by 15%. So that is huge. It's increasing your damage and it's increasing your movement speed. I really like it. I was torn between either Griffins or Order's Wrath. I was using Order's Wrath, I believe, on my last build, but I really like Griffins too. It really lets you be speedy. If you can't get Griffins, just use Order's Wrath instead. You're just going to be a little, you just won't be a little bit as fast, but that is fine. Like, you don't need to worry about that at all. So, medium Griffin's belt, Divines. Medium Griffin's boots in Divines and medium Griffin's legs in Divines as well. Our other set is going to be Rallying Cry. This is going to be what you're using on your back bar. The 2 piece gives you crit chance, which is huge. We won't crit on this build. The 3 piece gives you max magic. The 4 piece, another crit chance. And then the 5 piece, while Battle Spirit is active, so aka whether you're in Cyrodiil, Imperial City, Battlegrounds, or in duels, if you critically heal yourself or an ally, you gain 300 weapon spell damage, basically. And then you also get 1,631 crit resist for 20 seconds, and that is absolutely huge. That's why we're in all divines and not impen, because you don't need any more impen. So doing this really lets you build into damage a lot with this divines. I really like it. And then our jewelry is going to be both Rallying Cry rings. One of them, well, they're both going to be in the Swift trait, as you can see. One's going to have a stamina recovery glyph on it. The next one's going to have a weapon damage. I was having a little bit of a tough time sustaining, so I used the one stamina recovery glyph. If you're fine with sustain, just put another weapon damage glyph on there, and then you'll be hitting even harder. And then for our Mythic on this build, we're going to be using Sea Serpent's Coil. This is going to let you be a little bit tanky when you're getting that first hit. So while at full health, you get a 40% damage reduction, so that's huge. But on top of that, when you take damage, you snare yourself by 40%, which is unfortunate, but we're in triple swift, as you can see. And then also from Griffin, that minor expedition for 10 seconds is going to be huge as well. And then we're also going to have other ways to increase our speed too throughout this build that I'm going to explain. So it's really huge getting that 40%, like getting that movement speed back up. But you're going to be getting Major Berserk and Major Courage, increasing your damage jump by 10% and your weapon and spell damage by 430. Both of those are massive, and you really start hitting really hard when this active. And I absolutely love it. I think it's the best Mythic in the game right now, without a doubt. Our front bar is going to be a Griffin's Battle Axe. The reason why we're using Battle Axe is because axes now deal crit damage, so we're building so much into crit right here. I'm using Sharpen to increase our pen because we want a little bit of pen on this build. If you go completely into crit, like if you do precise, you're just not going to be hitting as hard because you're just not going to have that same kind of penetration on your enemies. So definitely go sharpened with your battle axe. And then I'm also using the weapon and spell damage enchant on this as well to increase that by 348. Our back bar is going to be Rallying Cry Ice Staff to increase our resistances as much as possible. Ice Staff really helps your tankiness, and then we're also going to go in defending with that, which is really going to help your tankiness. Onto our skills real quick. We're going to be using as our main spammable Dizzying Swing. I know, Resonant Sleep or Dizzying Swing. I like it though. You can really do some damage if you line up your burst properly. But, you know, if you don't like it, a dual-wield build works just as fine. Just instead of Dizzying, use Spin to Win. And then instead of Executioner, use the Magic Morph of Birds to increase your weapon and spell damage even more. So... But for our 2H build that we're going to be going over, Dizzying Swing is going to be huge. It's going to be your main spammable. Bird of Prey, this is going to be your source of major expedition on this build. And then also Slaughter, you get Minor Berserk, increasing your damage jump by 5%. And when you activate it, you gain immunity to snares and immobilizations for 4 seconds. So it's your snare removal, it's your speed, and your Minor Berserk. That's huge, just for having that slotted. We're going to be using a loot on this build since we're in 5 medium. This is going to give yourself major evasion, so it's going to reduce your damage taken from AoEs by 20%. And then also, when you take damage, you're going to increase your movement speed by 30% because you're going to be getting a major expedition. So it is absolutely massive. I love it so much. And then Deep Fissure is going to be also what you're going to be using on this build to slot your damage burst up. Using the Magic Morph, you're going to be getting major and minor breach from this. So it's going to reduce your enemy's physical and spell resistance by about 9k. So between that and then your sharpened axe, you're going to be really hitting hard and really going to be dealing into their armor a lot. And then Executioner, you need an Execute on your builds to make sure you secure that kill, and this is that ability. So use this when they're about, I'd say about 30% or lower health. And then Dawnbreaker, this is going to be your ultimate on this build. Dawnbreaker and Stam Warden go hand in hand, they always have. It is still an amazing burst to line up with your Deep Fissure, Dizzying Swing, Dawnbreaker combo. It is perfect. I'm using Polar Wind because I was in a 2-man group earlier, and it really helps. It really helps to be able to stun them when you want to, not using the other morph. So using your Dizzying Swing and turning them off balance is a really good way to control the fight. But having the other morph to stun your enemies is huge too when you're turtling and taking a lot of damage. But I like Polar Wind to be able to give to your allies as well. I really like that. Bull Netch, this is going to be your source of major brutality, increasing your weapon and spell damage by 20%. Resolving Vigor, this is a huge heal that you have. It's the best heal in the game right now as far as the heal over times go. And on top of that, you get Minor Resolve, increasing your physical and spell resistance by 3k. Leeching Vines, I love this ability. This is a really good source of healing. Between Leeching Vines and Resolving Vigor, it is 2 amazing hots to use. Getting that minor lifesteal on enemies that are damaging you is such good healing. It's amazing. And then Lotus Blossom, this is going to give you Major Prophecy and Major Savagery, increasing your weapon and spell critical rating by 2,629. So that is absolutely huge. It's a crit build, so building into crit like that is absolutely huge. And then Temporal Guard, using this to get that minor protection on your back bar is absolutely massive. It's going to help your tankiness so much, and it really just lets you just turtle a lot. If you are taking a lot of damage, you get that minor protection on your back bar, and you alternate between Vines and Resolving Vigor. You are not taking damage, I promise. And then onto our champion points. The blue slottables are going to be a little different because I went purely into damage. I didn't go any defensive at all. So our blue slottables are Wrathful Strikes, Master at Arms, Exploiter, and Fighting Finesse. Our red slottables are Sustained by Suffering, Survival Instincts, Pain's Refuge, and Celerity. And the green slottables that matter, the only things that matter in the green tree for PvP are Rationer and Liquid Efficiency, and then also use Breakfall right here. Alright guys, that is the build. I hope you guys enjoy. I was really enjoying this build a lot today. It was a lot of fun to be able to just tank a lot of damage, but also deal a lot of damage as well. I really hope you guys enjoy. If you guys haven't yet, I would highly appreciate if you could subscribe to the channel. I want to get to 3K subs by the end of the year, and we are almost at 2,800, so we are just shy of 200. I'm very excited to get to that point. Having you guys help me with that would be absolutely massive. It is free, and it helps support me so much. So guys, I hope you enjoy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to see this build live in action, catch me live at twitch.tv/Sekaar, where I stream almost every day, 5 days a week. So guys, thank you so much. I could talk all day, but that's it. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys on the next one. Later.